Hey y'all, let me take this off. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. It's nice to meet you. I'm Natalie. What you call it? What was I about to say? Oh, literally today is going to be super busy, so I wanted to make sure that I came on here and did this video real quick while I'm free. I have a ton of meetings to do and to go into today, so today's video is on how I lost weight after my pregnancy. So if you've been if you're an OG to my channel, then you know that I just had a baby in June, and that this was my second pregnancy. And so I've been, posting my workouts and posting things. And I get a lot of questions about how I lost the baby weight and how I snapped back. Ew, I don't look like I have eyebrows. Sorry. But so I put snapback in quotation marks because your body never snaps back. Like, your body's never going to be the same again. And so the word snapback is kind of pointless. But what I can say is that I was able to make my mommy body into the mommy body that I wanted to have. So everything that I felt like I didn't have before that I now have has been acquired through serious work. One thing in particular, so I guess I'll start from the beginning. When I first went to college, I was about 92 pounds. You hear that and you think, oh my God, she was a stick. I was 92 pounds of mostly muscle. I was an athlete, the collegiate level. So I was fairly healthy. I'll say fairly because knowing what I know now, I know that I wasn't as healthy as I should have been. But I've always been a very petite and small human. And so me being 92 pounds when I graduated high school was normal for me. I ate 24/7. I worked out 24/7 because I had to. But I just didn't gain any weight. My metabolism was extremely fast. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I remember coming home for Christmas break and I was 120 pounds and I looked like I had been eating weights for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's when I realized I really enjoyed lifting weights and I really liked the way my body looked. But it was just interesting that on top of freshman 15 and all type of other things, I started realizing I'm still very small and I probably will never be very big, and I was okay with that. When I got pregnant the first time, I went from being 110 pounds. Mind you, I was 27 when I got pregnant the first time. Or was I 26? I'm 29 now. We'll just say I was 26 because I don't really know how old I was. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I was 26. I was 110 pounds and I was working out, not as heavily as I was when I was an athlete at the collegiate level. But I still trained, I still weight trained, I still ran a little bit. I was doing a lot of training with my athletes because I was a coach at the time. And so I was still pretty small. I was small. And it's funny because I have pictures of myself where I'm in bathing suits and I would be cracking up being like, oh, I'm thick. And I'm just like, girl, no. Now looking back, I'm like, girl, no, what is wrong with you? You was a stick. But anyway, so I was 110 pounds when I got pregnant with my son. And when I gave birth, I was 150 pounds. So I gained 40 pounds during pregnancy. And once I gave birth, I got induced. That's going to be a whole nother YouTube video. But I got induced, and once I gave birth, I was down to 135 pounds, I want to say. After I gave birth, I literally, sorry, I got a text message that I've been waiting for all morning. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, after I had my son, I was working solely on losing the weight because I wanted to make sure I fit into my wedding dress. So 6 months after I gave birth, I was supposed to be getting married, which I did get married. When I was about 5 or 6 months pregnant, I bought a wedding dress, but I was really small at that time. So being able to look at wedding dresses and try on wedding dresses was very important to me, because I was like, I need to find something before I get huge, because who knows if I'll be able to really lose the weight. I knew that I know, how to work out and how to do those things, but I wasn't sure if I would lose the weight to fit back into my dress. So I ended up purchasing a dress, and on my wedding day, I wore my dress, and actually my dress was too big. It fit perfectly, like up here, but not at the waist. Like my stomach area was too small to fit into the dress, if that makes any sense. It wasn't as tight, because I remember when I tried on the dress, I felt like I was going to suffocate. If I had been any bigger, I wouldn't have been able to even zip the dress up. The dress was super tight on me, but it looked great. So on my wedding day, I wore the dress. It fit pretty well. If I had a couple extra pounds, it would have been like perfectly on me, but it did what it was supposed to do. Nonetheless, after that pregnancy, pretty much I did a no bread, no rice, no pasta for a month and a half. And that's how I kind of sped up the process of being able to lose the weight, because I was not eating the things that keep weight on me. And that was really hard for me, because I'm Haitian and we eat rice with everything. So it's like the main thing that I usually eat, I couldn't eat, but I was able to find alternatives like quinoa. I was able to do things like sweet potato instead of pasta. And I'm not like a big pasta eater. I'll do like Alfredo, jerk chicken Alfredo, or like chunky lasagna or something like that. But I don't eat pasta enough to where it really affected me missing it. But the rice was very difficult, and the bread was very difficult. Also, I worked out. I started working out, I want to say at 4 weeks postpartum with my first pregnancy. And I started out just walking, and then I kind of increased it from walking to walking and running to doing plyometrics and doing circuits and things like that. And then I started going back to the gym. When my son was 5 months old, I started going back into the gym and lifting heavy, and that's when things started to pop for me, because I started to see the body that I wanted. And that I could not really acquire before pregnancy, because being pregnant pushes your body into doing things that it wouldn't normally do. So like all of a sudden I had hips where I had never had hips before, things like that. With this pregnancy, I was 137 pounds when I got pregnant. And I want to say I want to say when I gave birth, I might have been 149 pounds, 48 pounds. I didn't gain much weight with this pregnancy at all. I gave birth 2 weeks early, and the only reason why I know how much I weigh now is because I just went to the doctor. But I am currently 135 pounds. Like I said, I'm very petite. I'm only 5'2.5". So being 135 pounds for me is like perfect. That's like the goal. Actually, my goal is to be 140. But I've never been this heavy before. So it's exciting for me because I'm like, my husband calls me juicy. Like, I'm juicy now. I'm excited. This time, what I did with losing the weight was I did the same thing pretty much. I cut out rice, pasta, and bread for 3 weeks. So I didn't quite make it a full month. I just wasn't feeling it anymore, so I stopped. But I still ate fairly healthy. Lots of salad, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, tons and tons of water because I'm breastfeeding. Oh, that's the other thing. During my first pregnancy, I breastfed up until my son was about 5 months. And then I pumped and exclusively pumped for about a month. So he had breast milk until he was about 6 months. And that helped my stomach go down a whole bunch. So the only problem area that I really had was like these like side obliques. And that was annoying. And that's the same thing for now. Did no rice, no bread, no pasta for about 3 weeks. I started working out very, very early. So my workouts consisted of walking for an hour. And within that hour, I was able to walk 3 miles. I started doing that at a week and a half postpartum. And I was doing that with my son in a stroller. And then I went from walking 3 miles every day to walking and running. So like I would walk, and then when I got to a hill, I would run up the hill. But I didn't do that until I was about 2 months postpartum, mainly because I didn't feel like my insides were back to where they were supposed to be yet. And I remember the first time that I ran, it wasn't painful, but it was very uncomfortable. And the next day I was very, very sore. So I didn't run again for like a month. So, but I was doing like squats, lunges. I would do circuits, breastfeeding. So as of right now, my daughter is almost 3 months, and I'm still breastfeeding and I'm still pumping. And I'm trying to build up a supply in my freezer. So right now we have a good amount of supply. I want to say we might have like 60 or 70 bags of breast milk in that freezer. I have not given her any formula since she's been born. Her grandparents did. But yeah, breastfeeding really, really helped with losing the weight. So right now my problem areas are the side obliques, like side this. I have that, and that's annoying. Because I've never really had that before, and so I'm not used to having it. But one thing I can say is that I'm loving the body that I have now. Like I said before, I have hips, my butt is bigger, my boobs are bigger. Well, actually my boobs went back down to regular size. One thing I can say is like I thought that once, preconceived notion prior to getting pregnant, I thought that once you get pregnant, your boobs just automatically get big and they stay big. And that's mainly because most of the people that I know who had babies, who started out itty bitty titty committee, are now like C's and double D's type breast sizes. But I also had to take into consideration that those are also people who don't work out, and they didn't necessarily lose their baby weight. They either kept their baby weight on, or it kind of just came off on its own without them having to really work too much to get rid of it. I can't say that I worked super hard to get rid of mines because, like I said, I enjoy working out. It's not a strenuous thing for me. I did work out, still do work out 5 days a week. Recently I took a break for 4 days because my body was extremely exhausted. And I know that I'm vitamin D deficient, iron deficient, and I ran out of my vitamins. And so I can definitely tell a difference in my body from when I take my vitamins to when I don't. And this was a time that I needed to make sure that I was taking care of my body and not exhausting myself without replenishing my nutrients. So I just now started back working out, and I ran yesterday a mile for the first time in about a week and a half, and it was extremely painful. So right now my workout regimen looks like I run a mile once a week, and then I alternate different kinds of circuits throughout the rest of the week, and I try to run hills 1 day out of the week, but I also give myself 2 days off each week. My routine will change because I think I almost got kidnapped yesterday while running, and that's gonna be a whole nother YouTube video, and I'm extremely paranoid and scared now of running in my neighborhood. And I'll be doing a story time on that, because sex trafficking is real, especially in Birmingham and especially in Atlanta, and I live 2 hours away from Atlanta. So I'm just saying, like, I just need to be very careful. So my workout routine will change up a little bit. Yeah, but that's how I lost my baby weight. I intend to continue working out. And my next goal, my goals for the future are to acquire more muscle. So I will be going back to my protein and making sure that I'm taking my protein every day after a workout or after every workout, you know, things like that. So that's my goal. I've lost the weight that I wanted to lose, and I'm actually smaller than I was prior to having my baby. I want to get to 140, and in order for me to do that, I need to pack on some muscle. So I'm gonna be lean bulking, probably starting my lean bulking journey starting next week. So we'll see how that goes, but I hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, see you guys later.